Welcome in, everybody, to a beautiful afternoon here at Coatesville Area High School. I'm Nick Evans, joined by Alex Harkins as always. No Michael McDonald today, but he should be back tomorrow. Today, we got the Unionville Longhorns coming in at 1-6 versus the Coatesville Red Raiders, who come in with a record of 7-1. Pitching matchup today: Drew Del Calo for the Longhorns pitched really well in his last start. Al.
Yeah, absolutely. Went 6 innings and only allowed 1 earned run. And Nick, I would probably say it's been the best start all year so far for the Longhorns, and hopefully he can continue off that and pick up right where he left off.
He'll face he'll face Jones of Coatesville, who we're not really sure too much about how good or bad he's been this year. Hopefully it's the latter for the Longhorns' sake. But we'll get started here in a second. Thank you for joining us today for another afternoon of Longhorns baseball. We'll be back when we get started. gentlemen, we're just about ready to get underway here. Longhorns taking on the Red Raiders. Pitcher for Coatesville this afternoon is going to be number 36, Ben Jones. Catcher is going to be number 4, R.J. Rickenbaugh. Grant Hyman waits on deck for the Longhorns as we are set to get underway. Senior leadoff man, number 17, Grant Hyman, steps in. He's playing center field today for the Longhorns. Hyman takes low, first pitch, 1-0. Grant's done a nice job leading off all year for this squad. Hopes to continue some of that success here. The righty delivers in there, 1-1. One is outside, 2-1. Swung on, blooper to second, and the catch is made by second baseman Kudlick. Sophomore Nick Deal steps in. Takes outside, 1-0. Breaking ball in there, 1-1. Nick Deal playing first base today for Unionville. Breaking ball low, 1-2. So Deal will have to protect. The righty delivers, swung on and crushed into center. It'll drop for a base hit. So Nick Deal is on with a one-out single. That'll bring up junior Drew Del Calo.
There's a solid base hit from Nick Deal, and Nick, some early velocity from Ben Jones as the right-hander has quite the fastball in terms of speed, but Nick Deal able to get hold of that one, and of course when you throw it in hard, it comes back out that way.
Yeah, he's a bigger righty up there on the hill. So a power versus power matchup here with Del Calo. Fastball a little low, ball 1. Swung on and missed. Fastball in the dirt. 1-1 is the count. Swung on and missed 1-2. The Longhorns trying to get the sour taste out of their mouths from Wednesday last week, in which they entered the 7th inning with a 4-1 lead and could not hang on. Obviously, they were supposed to have a game on Monday, but it got rained out after only 1 inning of play. So Unionville certainly looking to get back in the winning column today as Del Calo takes the ball 2-2. Del Calo takes outside, full count. Drew has been the most productive hitter for the Longhorns this season. Leads in basically every category statistically. Batting average, total bases, extra base hits, RBIs. It's been a really, really good junior campaign so far for Del Calo, as he is called out on a breaking ball upstairs. He didn't like it, but nevertheless, 2 outs. And that'll bring up senior Connor Brooks.
And interesting today, Nick, Connor Brooks hitting cleanup, hitting 4th. The big lineup switch for Unionville is Ben Bachelari's not in the starting lineup, so we'll miss his bat this afternoon, which means everybody else basically moves up 1.
Hard fastball, first pitch, called a ball, 1-0. And, you know, the thing you have to think about, Al, as Jones checks on Del Calo, is a lot of these, or Deal, excuse me, at first. The large majority of this Longhorns lineup has not hit in a week since, you know, we only got through a few batters on Monday. So maybe a little bit of rust here early on as Connor takes high, 2-0. Just something to consider.
No, absolutely, and obviously it's going to take maybe an inning or two for some of these guys to kind of get back to what you were talking about, shake off some of that rust.
Two 2-0 pitch is swung on and missed, 2-1. That game against Kennett, by the way, will be made up tomorrow, we do believe, at Unionville. We're not sure if it'll be resumed or if they'll start. Okay, it will be resumed, I'm being told. So we'll pick things up in the top of the second tomorrow as Brooks hits one into shallow center field. That's way up there. And settling under it is the left fielder, and that is out number 3. Longhorns leave 1 stranded in the first. Don't walk away with any runs. Drew Del Calo will get things started on the hill in the bottom of the first. Jake Stewart will lead things off for the Red Raiders, playing first base today. Longhorns didn't get anything in the top of the first, and it's Drew Del Calo on the hill. First pitch shows bunt. Interesting strategy there on the first pitch of the game.
Yeah, interesting, but you could see it looked like Nick Deal knew exactly what was happening as he and the third baseman Jeremy Sauerbaum are on the infield grass.
Check swing, fouls one off. 0-2.
Yeah, Nick and Del Calo trying to build off his best varsity start to this point. And obviously the big thing for him has always been the location, not necessarily the stuff and the command, but last start it was definitely on point.
Hoping for the same thing today. Swing and a miss. Stewart is down on strikes, and that is strikeout number 1 for Del Calo. You can't hit what you can't see, and that was just a fastball, low, and Stewart bit on it. And that's 1K early for Del. Number 9, Joey Mazzone steps in, the right fielder. Ball in the dirt, 1-0. One-0 delivery, hat flies off, swing and a miss, 1-1. Del Calo definitely has a very athletic, violent motion out there on the hill. Really throws with high effort, everything he's got. Fastball, low and outside, 2-1. Drew gathers, stares in, and the pitch is upstairs, 3-1. Fastball is low, and Mazzone will take his base. That will bring up R.J. Rickabaugh, number 17, the catcher. A righty-lefty matchup here, so advantage Coatesville, of course. Fastball low, 1-0.
And one thing early that we're seeing from Drew, Nick, and obviously we didn't get to watch the game in person when he last started, but usually when he's been missing, it's been up in the zone, but so far it's been middle down, which is where you want to be if you're going to miss.
1-0, that one's upstairs, 2-0. Rickabaugh with a wide stance in the box. Keeps the bat at his shoulders, and he really does have a smooth swing. That was a nice cut there. Fouls it off. Two on the count. Mazzone takes his lead off first. Del Calo checks on him. I think that's probably smart by Drew. Don't risk the ball getting past Deal. Just lob it over. Keep him on his toes. Gets the same job done as that ball's popped way up in the air. Shallow right. Settling under it is Jake Parisi, and he makes the catch. 2 away. That'll bring up Will Dean.
Yeah, Nick, and Jake Parisi getting yet another start today as the Longhorns continue to try and get his bat into the lineup. He has been hot in the playing time he's gotten, so of course you try to work a guy like him into the starting rotation and lineup when obviously things aren't going so great.
He's certainly shown capable with the bat in his last few appearances. Deserves the playing time he's now seeing. Fastball is upstairs, 1-0 to Dean, who pitched when we saw this team last year.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Nick, this guy had our number a year ago, so hopefully we can get him back this afternoon.
That was on the mound, though, of course. Hopefully he doesn't hit as well as he throws, as Drew is upstairs, 2-0.
Well, he is DHing, so the fact that he's forced kind of into the lineup by this Coatesville team means that he has to be able to hit somewhat.
Tells you he's probably got some talent for sure. Fastball is in there. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Regani checks on Mazzone back at first. Longhorns trying to hand Coatesville their first home loss of the season. A third out of this first frame for Del Calo would certainly be a good start. From the stretch, delivers 2-2. Runner takes off. Regani throws, and he got him. Sean Regani with a hose from home plate to second for the third out of the inning, helping his pitcher out. Red Raiders don't get anything. Nothing, heading into the second. Get things started here in the second. Matt McCluskey takes high, 1-0. Jones delivers 1-1, swing and a miss. Al, it's interesting. He's kind of Jones on the mound. He's got a little bit of a sort of a shorter, sort of lightning quick leg kick. Throws off some timing, maybe.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's working from the stretch right now. And, I mean, listen, when guys get on base against him, for Ben Jones, it's easier because he doesn't have to make an adjustment.
Swing and a miss, and McCluskey is down on strikes. That'll bring up Sean Regani. Sean takes a fastball on the first pitch, strike one. gets a piece of second pitch, 0-2 to Sean. Sean takes low, 1-2. Sean takes high, 2-2. Jones really working with that fastball, as we normally see from most high school pitchers. Breaking ball in there, strike 3. 2 batters, 2 Ks in the top of the second for Jones, and that'll bring up senior Jake Parisi, who was in right today.
Yeah, and on that strikeout, Nick, you can see how Jones, much like Dalcalo, is very reliant on that fastball. So when he drops in the off-speed, it really fools with the hitter's timing.
First pitch, breaking ball, 1-0. That's way outside. Nice job behind the plate by Rickaball to make that play. 2-0 pitch, swung on and lined into left. That's a base hit for Jake Parisi. And with 2 outs and 1 on, that'll bring up Jeremy Sauerbaum.
And Jake, I said it earlier, Nick, he's been swinging a hot bat, and everything he's been making contact with has just been a line drive to left field. It's a really great sign.
He's definitely got a nice level swing, and like you said, just drives the ball to all parts of the field. And it's good to see him finding success at the plate, taking advantage of the opportunity he's been given. Takes a big lead off first. Sauerbaum swings and misses at pitch number 1, fastball. Fastball in there for strike 2. Sauerbaum playing third today. Looking to keep this inning going for the Longhorns. Jones checks on Parisi at first. Swung on and hit way up in the air into left, and it is caught for out number 3. Nice piece of contact by Sauerbaum. However, it does result in the third out of the inning, and Drew Dalcalo will go back to work in the bottom of the second. When we come back, 0-0 ball game. So Will Dean will get another shot at the plate, a shot at which was taken away from him from Sean Regany in the last inning with a throw out. He made it second. Dean takes 0-1. Popped up behind us, 0-2. Check swing, gets a piece of it. Fouls it off, stays alive. Still 0-2. Drew's delivery is swung on and fouled off down the first base line. Two. Outside, 1-2. One, two, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he does, says the home plate umpire. And Regani makes the throw to first. Strikeout number 2 on the day for Del Calo. 1 away. That brings up Alex Kuhn. Swung on and grounded foul. Fastball is low, 1-1. Swung on and fouled off of Regani. 1-2 the count. Swung on and missed, struck him out. 3 Ks through 2 frames for Drew Del Calo. Second of the inning. That ball's lined up the middle, right to Parisi at shortstop, and he makes the throw over to first for out number 3. Del Calo with 2 clean frames here in the early innings. 0-0 at Coatesville. Third inning when we come back. Nine-man for the Longhorns. Carter Parisi, who made that last out, will get his first AB. as the trains pass here in Coatesville. Parisi makes contact, fouls it off behind the plate, 0-1. Swung on and line to shortstop. Diving play tried to be made, but not quite. So a base hit for Parisi, and that's one man on for the top of the order. It'll be Grant Hyman.
Yeah, good to see Carter that time, Nick, putting a nice line drive on the baseball. It has been a little while since he's gotten that bat going, and a good way to start here in the inning for the Longhorns.
Swing and a miss. Sauerbaum is behind early, 0-1. Jones checks on Parisi. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And a nice throw to first by Rickabaugh behind the dish, but not in time to get Carter Parisi. Checks on Parisi again. Hyman fouls it off behind us. Count remains. Parisi drawing a lot of attention over there at first. Swung on and fouled off again. Swung on, blooper into left, and that will be caught but dropped. Carter will make it into second, and that'll be a single for Grant Hyman. So some offense here starting to run for the Longhorns.
Yeah, those will go down. That one will go down as an error, Nick, and that's the second play of this inning that this Coatesville defense, which looked so impressive in warm-ups, Nick, has let them down to begin this third inning now. Of course, the Longhorns are in business.
Nick Deal, who singled his last time up, will step in. And R.J. Rickabaugh will talk things over with his pitcher. Deal swings and first pitch, fly ball into left, and it is caught, one away. Both runners able to get back in time. That'll bring up Drew Delcalo, who struck out his last time up. 1 out, 2 on.
Yeah, Deal gave that one a ride. Nick just unfortunately hit it to the wrong side of the field. That went to right. I guarantee you Carter's at third base.
Still 2 on with less than 2 outs for Del Calo. Takes first pitch fastball, 0-1.
And so far this season, Nick, Drew has thrived in situations like this with runners on base, of course.
Gets a piece, 0-2. Drew working with an 0-2 count for the second straight at bat. See if he can stay alive here. Del Calo takes strike 3, goes down looking for the second time. 2 outs now for Connor Brooks.
And this is a big at-bat here for Connor Brooks, of course. Runners run first and second to begin this inning, and Unionville trying not to waste those opportunities.
Swung on and lifted into left center. Center fielder is under it, and he makes the catch. That's Harrison Susi out there. So the inning is over. Longhorns leave 2 on, do not strike. Still 0-0. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Magnus Krieger steps in. First baseman for the Red Raiders takes high. It's in there for strike 1, 1-1. Ground ball to second. Bobbled and play not able to be made. That is Chase Parisi with the error. So a leadoff base runner for the Red Raiders. Shows bunt, lays a good one down. Del Calo will take his out at first. Struggled to get it out of his glove for a second, but was able to make the play. 1 away. Center fielder Harrison Susi steps in, who made the final putout in the last frame. He'll show bunt as well. Deal charges in, fouls it off, 0-1.
Interesting that you would show bunt again, Nick, because assuming Susie would be out at first, you would just have a runner on third with 2 down, but I mean, I guess you can try and move him up. Doesn't really make much sense because he's already in scoring position. You want to keep it with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, it doesn't fundamentally make a ton of sense in terms of what menu it's based on. Swings away there and fouls it off, 0-2 onto the train tracks. Oh-2 check swing, did not go, says the home plate umpire. Checks on second base umpire just in case, and he agrees. Ground ball to Sauerbom at third, charges, throws to to Deal, and makes the play for out number 2. Runner does advance, however.
Yeah, and speaking of Bachelor, of course, Sauerbom's in for the defense at third base, and shows exactly why there. And I guess if you're Coatesville, this is exactly what you wanted originally.
Jake Stewart steps in, top of the lineup for Coatesville. Fastball is just a bit outside, 1-0. Second time through the lineup for the Red Raiders. That ball is lifted into center, and it'll hit the gaps. So 1 run scores. Stewart on his way to second, and he is in there standing with a 2-out RBI double, and the Red Raiders take a 1-0 lead. Now they'll bring up Joey Mazzone.
And again, just power on power, Nick, and I mean, no chance for Grant Hyman to track that ball down. It's a solid piece of hitting, and nothing you can do for the Longhorns here.
It's a really, really nice knock, going to the opposite gap. That's exactly what hitters practice during BP. Go the other way with it, and it's definitely a great skill if you can do it. Drew is high, 1-0. Swung on grounder, that'll bounce foul, 1-1. Breaking ball upstairs, 2-1. Line drive into center. Back is Hyman, and it gets over his head. Didn't take a great route to it, and a second run will score. That's back-to-back 2-out RBI doubles for the Red Raiders, and it's a 2-0 ball game.
Like Grant just misread that one a little bit. Nick didn't realize it was going to go over his head. You could see, I mean, usually you got to be sprinting back in center field on that play if you want to be able to get to the baseball, and Grant wasn't quite.
That's back-to-back really good pieces of contact, too, for Coatesville. It's definitely, a reason why they're 7-1. Just a matter of time until the bats start to rake. That brings up R.J. Rickaball, who I'm sure didn't think he'd get an at-bat in this inning, but here he is with a runner in scoring position. Fouls that one off. 1-1. One is swung on and fouled off. That one gets away from Drew, way upstairs, full count. Or 2-2, excuse me. Fastball outside, full count now. Full count pitch is upstairs, walked him. So this inning will continue for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, and it looks like these extra base hits might be getting to Drew a little bit. He's starting to lose some of that command he had earlier on.
Red Raiders back at the cleanup spot with Will Dean, number 10. That one gets away from Drew, and it gets behind Regany. Both runners will advance, and now 2 in scoring position for Coatesville.
Yeah, if I was Sean, I would take this time to maybe talk it over with Drew, because another hit here, you double the lead.
Floodgates could really start to open here with just one swing of the bat. Pitch from Del Calo. He's upstairs again, 2-0.
Yeah, and you just said it, upstairs again. He's starting to miss up high, and if I'm Sean, I need to be able to settle him down a little bit.
Swung on, grounder to first, eats up Deal, and he is still able to make the play. So a nice job by Nick Deal, keeping his head on that ball and able to flip it to first for the out to Del Calo. However, Coatesville does add 2 in the inning, and they take a 2-run lead. Longhorns will try to get them back in the top of the 4th when we come back. Matt McCluskey steps in. takes low. The 1-0 from Jones, fastball in there for a strike. McCluskey knows he just missed that one. Wants that one back, I'm sure. Matt with that open stance takes a fastball down the middle, 1-2. Two-strike pitch, swung on and missed. McCluskey strikes out for the second time, 1 out. That'll bring up Sean Regany. Takes a breaking ball, little outside, 1-0. Fastball is fouled away. We've seen a lot of foul balls that way this afternoon. 1-1. Sean struck out his last time up. He will look to not repeat that, as that one is up and in over his head. Ducks out of the way. Outside. Full count. Past his head, and he draws the walk. That was really, really close to hitting him upstairs, which would not have been good. But that puts a runner on for number 19, Jake Parisi, who singled his last time up and has been swinging a hot bat as of late.
Yeah, that last pitch, as you said, Nick, went up and in on Sean. Looks like maybe Ben Jones could be starting to lose a little bit of that command.
Fouls the first pitch off, 0-1.
And Jake really does get that back quick through the zone, doesn't he, Nick?
I was just about to say that. Holds it up high around his head. Keeps it moving up there, and then just attacks the strike zone as Jones checks on Regany, who was dancing over at first. Parisi takes upstairs, 1-1. Parisi calls time. Almost got Regany that time on the check, but he's back at first safely. Parisi moved off the bag. He thought that was so inside, but the umpire calls a strike, 1-2, as Jake shakes his head.
It doesn't make it any easier that Rickable also dropped the pitch, but
that definitely does not make things easier. Regany dancing at first. Jones focuses home, and it is a ball, 2-2. 2-2. Breaking ball low. Nice block by Rickaball. 2-0 Red Raiders on top if you're just joining us. They have not lost at home yet this year, so they're looking to keep that going. Top of the fourth inning. 1 on, 1 out for Jake Parisi, and he'll take low, and he is on for the second time today. And Unionville's got something going here in the top of the fourth.
Yep, and now Rickaball goes out to talk to Ben Jones, who, as I said, Nick, earlier, could be losing some of that command, and you can obviously assume Rickaball wants to calm him down in case Unionville starts a little bit of a comeback.
And it looks like that'll be a full infield meeting with the coach as well. That was a nice at-bat by Jake Parisi, who was down 1-2 and made his way all the way back. Sauerbaum, who flew out to left his last time up, will try to get Unionville on the board here with a runner in scoring position and less than 2 outs. Jones delivers home. Jeremy swing at the first pitch per usual, fouls it off. Got a breaking ball there on the first pitch.
Yeah, and in his last at-bat, Nick, he gave one a ride here. You hope that maybe Jeremy can square something similarly up to that pitch.
Fastball in there for strike 2. Regani takes his lead off second. Parisi off first. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Infield fly roll did not come in play, and the ball drops, but they will get Parisi at second. A little bit of confusion there as they wondered if the infielder was on the bag to get Parisi, but he was, so there's 2 outs. However, Regani does advance to third. That was an interesting no infield fly call.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, it was kind of on the grass of the outfield, but, I mean, again, it's just one of those tough places. If it drops, I mean, there's nothing you can do if you're, you know, any of the base runners on. Jake Parisi was the one who, unfortunately, gets the short end of the stick here, but, I mean, yeah, I think there's some discussion going on now. Because, of course, if there's an infield fly, there's only runners on first and second as compared to first and third.
Yeah, as the ball was in the air, we were kind of waiting for it to be called, and it never was. And the inning somehow is over, so they do call the infield fly. So they did call the infield fly, so Sauerbaum was out, and then they got Parisi on the bases, so that will be one of the weirdest double plays you'll ever see, and the Longhorns will leave a couple stranded. And we will get back at you in the bottom of the fourth. Sean Reganey makes the throw over to second, which means we will get things started in the bottom of the fourth. 2-0, Red Raiders on top of the Unionville Longhorns. And Alex Keene will lead things off here. Del Calo's still on the mound after a little bit of trouble in the bottom of the third. Fastball low to start, 1-0. Drew working quickly, bounces one in, 2-0.
Yeah, Nick, and it'll be interesting to see how far Drew goes here, considering Kyle Crossman is getting ready to come in at some point.
Certainly we'll see how long the leash is with Drew. Foul ball, rocketed down near the Coatesville dugout, 2-1. Drew made really easy work of things in his first, really 2 2/3, but then with 2 outs in the last inning, just couldn't quite finish it off, gave up a few extra base hits, and the Red Raiders scored 2 as that ball is rocketed into center for a leadoff base hit.
Yeah, and it looks like these Red Raider hitters might be getting to Drew's fastball a little bit more here. They've been picking it up a lot better.
Del Calo delivers up and in on the fastball. That one's in the dirt and it gets by Reganey. So Keene will advance to second, and a runner in scoring position with nobody out for Coatesville.
And that one looked like it hit the plate, Nick, and I mean, if you're the catcher in that situation, the ball is just always going to bounce straight up over your head, and you can't react in time, so you really can't do anything if you're Sean.
Did he go? Yes, he did. 1-1, the count. Howe steps in. Del Calo delivers home, and that one gets by Reganey as well. So Keene will advance to third. And now anything deep enough gets him home to make it 3-0. Del Calo does sit mid to high 80s with his fastball, so he is a hard thrower. And when he puts him in the dirt like that, it's just tough for Reganey to keep him in front of him, as that's a good pitch right there. Strike 2, 2-2 the count. Big pitch here in an airtight ball game. Upstairs. And Howe will take his base. Another walk by Del Calo. A lot of walks from both teams, really, so far today. And Magnus Krieger will try to get the job done for Coatesville. Howe faked the steal to second, got Reganey on his feet, and then ran right back. Runners on the corners for the Red Raiders, nobody out. Krieger with a really interesting stance, sort of reminds you of maybe an Anthony Rendon or a Jeff Bagwell a little bit. Wide righty stance and kind of holds the bat at his hip. Howe is really taking a big lead off first. It's just...
Yeah, and I think Nicky might be intentionally doing that to try and draw a throw over. Of course, there's a runner on third, and it's smart for Sean to not bite at that bait
swing and a miss. Nice fastball there from Del Calo.
You know, and how many times have we seen, you know, in these high school games, runners take off for second with runners on the corners, and then the guy from third comes home. So it's good from Sean.
Fundamentally sound baseball is winning baseball. Sean Regany knows that. Able to lay off that one is Krieger, and so the bases are loaded with nobody out. Take time here. Regany will talk things over with his guy on the mound. Second baseman steps in and takes outside. Nice job by Regany to stay in front of that one. Swung on, ground ball to Chase Parisi. Turns to second to get the first, and out at first. Double play by Chase Parisi. That was a Parisi to Parisi connection there from second to short. Or was that Jeremy Sauerbaum at second? Yes, it was. So Sauerbaum makes the flip to second, and Parisi did a nice job getting it over to Deal at first for the double play. Run did score, however, so it is 3-0 Coatesville.